Yes, everybody. Welcome back to the Irish Hotspur. Your boys, Jack and Dave here. Quick announcement before we get off to this fan show. Timo Weenie, Timo Speedy, Timo Werner has been signed to Tottenham Hotspur, not permanently, just for another loan spell, kind of similar to what it was the last time we got him in January. It's going to be a loan with an option to buy this next coming summer, a buy option for around 15 million euros, 16 million pounds, I'd reckon. We are going to be covering his full salary. Some people are very upset about that one, but it has been this declared by Fabrizio Romano. It's been given the here we go as the first signing of the summer for Tottenham Hotspur this summer. Dave, I think I said summer twice there, but Timo Werner, I think there's a funny like kind of divide with Spurs fans. It's not people that are super excited about Timo or anything like that. You might find some people that are that way, but it's more people that are just all right with the signing, kind of just indifferent about it, maybe slightly optimistic, trying to calm down the people that are very outraged or very frustrated by this signing. I don't really know which one you lie on. Maybe you are outraged and you're trying to hide it inside. You got a smile on your face. So let us know what you think of the Timo Werner signing, Dave.
Look, he's definitely committing murder on socials, Jack, instead of murder on the dance floor, which is his team song. But look, I think the fact that there's that much outrage on either side about the signing, I think shows that, the quality that he actually brings to Tottenham Hotspur is still within question. When we approached him in January, it was more put or so to us fans that, look, Timo Werner wants to make the German squad for the Euros. He's got a point to prove, and it's worth the gamble. Did he prove his point? I don't think he did. And for me, I don't think we should be in a position where we're bringing this guy back into the football club. We've already laid it all on the line for him, and he hasn't returned the favour. So for me, it doesn't make sense. 185k a week being covered by Tottenham Hotspur when we've actively got a lot of our higher earners off the wage bill for the talent that they were producing, and bringing in younger players that were producing more on the football pitch on lower wages. So it goes completely against that. It's going to affect wages that you can offer other people coming into this club. When you look at him as a striker, Jack, I don't think he's ever going to score you the goals that you need. And when you look him at as a winger, I don't think he's ever going to provide the consistency of chances that you need from a winger. So I don't think it solves a problem in the forward line whatsoever. I think one thing we learned from selling Harry Kane and across this season is you can't be bringing in average Joes, praying and hoping and wishing that they come good. You have to bring in quality into this forward line. And if we really want to see a progression in handball, there has to be more forwards to follow Timo Werner signing. And for me, I'm completely against it. I'm not quite sure why we've brought him in here. And I remember saying in January, okay, I get we're taking a risk on Timo Werner, and I get the market's a hard one to operate in. But when we have all the cash and no one else is moving, I maybe made the argument at the time with Timo Werner, should we have flexed our muscles and gone and laid money on the table because it could come back to haunt you at the end of the season? And it did. In the big games, in the big moments, especially against Newcastle, chances were falling Werner's way rather than other people's way. And he didn't take them. And right now, we could be talking about Champions League instead of Europa League. And it's already hurt our ambitions on the football pitch. And I think it's going to be the exact same heading into this season. We talk about bringing him in as a squad player. Okay, I get it. But what we don't realize is these squad players play 20, 25 games a season when you're in Europe and you're playing 60 games across all competitions. And that's where it comes back to haunt you. And I just feel like we're making the same mistake, personally, Jack. I'm not happy with it.
Yeah, with Timo, I'm not that excited about it either, really. And it was really one I didn't actually want to happen really this summer. I will admit, though, I'm not really that incensed about it or anything. I can see some of the, kind of feelings of Spurs fans that are kind of just telling everybody to calm down about it. I do see where they are coming from about it, where he is likely to be more of a squad signing. That being said, though, I think this whole kind of end of the season, we've been talking about what we really do need, though, are players that can walk into this first team, that can walk into the starting 11 straight away. Maybe those signings will still come this summer. Of course, we're very early into it. I'm not saying it won't happen. It's just Timo Werner, certainly we know, isn't one of those players that will be challenging or really be walking into that starting 11 and will be contributing regularly to that front line or even be pushing someone out of their place, right? Kind of competition wise. I'm not sure if he's going to be that guy. I'm going to see him more as probably like a Brian Hill kind of replacement or something that's cheap because you're going to be taking a loss probably on someone like Hill when you get rid of him this summer. So they're looking at it, it's like some sort of cheap squad filler kind of signing, like, beat like a bit of cheap cement that they're just looking kind of tape around, the edge of the forward line with. And this is kind of the mentality and also the ways of business that Spurs have always done, that we are trying to get away from, that we are trying to move away from, both kind of think psychologically, but even also kind of as just our own ambition, right? Where, yes, I think it's okay that some clubs operate that way. And it's even okay that Spurs operate that way from time to time. But the fact that we do kind of just every summer seem to operate this manner, I think does frustrate us. Also, quickly, I may add that Timo Werner, I just felt like he didn't embarrass himself when he came here. That's always been my kind of gimmick, or my sort of, line that I've said with him. I don't think he's actually embarrassed himself, as probably plenty of people wanted him to. But he did all right. But that's the point, right? He did all right. That's how I look at it. Not well enough to, I think, warrant staying permanently, or even staying for a whole nother season. And then I'll also just quickly add, forgive me, everybody, but he doesn't exactly help us in the finishing department. That's been a big problem for us. That's a big attribute that we're looking for this summer. Guys who can actually put away chances, who can have that scorer's instinct, like Sonny, kind of like Richarlison. And the fact that we're not even happy with Richarlison shows the standards that we're looking for. We're looking for much, much better goal scorers. Timo Werner doesn't help that. And also, we're looking for guys who can actually retain possession, actually retain the ball in the final third, while also being creative, while also being daring and progressive. And Timo Werner is sort of that, but he doesn't do it, I think, in the prettiest of ways. And he doesn't do it on a consistent level enough for me either, that I think it's totally really helping us or solving any problems for us. I really just see it as a squad filler kind of signing. And that means then I'm not that enraged by it, because I know it's not going to be the marquee signing that we're going for this summer, right? So I'm not going to treat it like that. But this could have been perhaps done better. This could have been given to maybe an unknown talent, an unknown winger of some sort that maybe we're not totally set on being in the starting lineup straight away, but eventually in the future. I'm not saying this as a good example. I'm not saying this is a good example, but what we were looking at with Nusa actually over the January window kind of made sense. Maybe that could have been a better idea. Not saying Nusa, specifically, but someone like that would have been maybe a better option for me as the squad filler type of signing to replace someone like Brian Hill instead of Timo Werner.
Look, you've got Mikey Moore, who's been training with the senior team towards the end of the season, bringing someone like Werner in as a squad filler. We've seen in years gone by, you roll these guys out in the cup, ultimately they don't care. Whereas if you give some of them minutes to youngsters, you at least get a better product because they try, they care, and for me, that's where I'm worried. I think you're blocking up the pathways of a Donnelly or a Mikey Moore by doing this, bringing Werner in. And one thing we should learn is, for instance, last season across the back line, Davinson Sanchez, Dyer out, bring Mickey van de Ven in, to partner alongside Romero, bring a Doji in. We made improvements to the first team. And whether people like to admit it or not, we improved our league position from 8th to 5th. We were better than what we were the season before. Bringing in Timo Werner, for me, is regression. You should be bringing someone in to look to improve that forward line. And then the players you've got there, the challenge falls to them to get themselves back in it, and they then start to get relegated. And that's the way we should be operating, not bringing in a guy that we automatically know, and everyone else knows, by the way, that he's going to be on the bench next season. None of them guys up in the forward area are going to be afraid of losing their place to Timo Werner. So for me, I get the argument that, look, we bring him in on loan, and we go and spend money elsewhere. But I would argue, we've lost some of our top talents before because we clogged up the pathway. Are about to make the same mistake.
Yep. And as always, everybody, feel free to disagree with us in the comments, please. We don't bite. I think we always have controversial opinions here. We definitely can go hard. We definitely can go pretty firm on things. And if you feel like we're missing something, if you just feel like you disagree with us, feel free to let us know. Or if even you agree with us, feel free to let us know in those comments, of course. And smash the like button for us, please. Do as well. Follow us on all socials. We're working very hard this summer. Big plans. Dave and I are going to be rejigging the channel, throwing out plenty of content, and we're throwing out this reaction straight before we even go into a fan show. So do smash that like button for us, and we will be leaving you. Come on, you Spurs. In the Big Ange we trust. We never stop. See you, everybody.
Everywhere we go.